welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name is Imogen. In today's video, I'm sharing 7 things that I don't share on my channel because it's important to have boundaries, even if you are a content creator who talks about your experiences on here as a sort of like serious thing, okay? So boundaries are important. So I'm talking about some boundaries I have for my channel in this video. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So, you know, even though I appear on camera for you guys every day and I talk about my life, I talk about my trauma, I talk about mental health, I talk about my experiences, and you guys probably know a hell of a lot about me if you've been on here a while. And if you're new, that's great, stick around. You will probably hear a lot more about me and my experiences if you do. But nevertheless, there are some things that are distinctly off limits. And I guess these weren't boundaries that I had necessarily to begin with. I didn't like start out this channel being like, oh, I'm not talking about this, 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 and this. I kind of like came up against each of these boundaries and I was like, oh, okay, that's a boundary. Like, I don't want to talk about that because that's a step too far and I'm not comfortable sharing that. So I think it's interesting to talk about boundaries because firstly, it normalizes setting them. And all of these things are things that I won't talk about. And that is just the way it is. And also it's really important to kind of, I want you guys to think about what your own boundaries might be in your personal lives and your professional lives as well, and to understand that it's absolutely okay to have them, even if you're in a sort of very publicized like niche. Obviously, I kind of like, I put my life on display for you guys to talk about and pick apart in the comments. And even when you're in that kind of space and in that kind of role, you deserve privacy as well. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing is identifying details about people in my life. So I will sometimes talk about my friends on my channel or like things my friends have done, but with one big caveat, and that is that I never share identifying details unless I have permission. So for example, when one of my friends is like, oh, can I be in your vlog? I'll be like, yes, absolutely, that's fine. Because, you know, they've asked to be in it, or I've like offered, I'll be like, I'm filming a vlog today, do you want to be in it? If you don't, that's fine. So like, I always get permission to like, for them to be in it or to like share details about them. Obviously my friends are a huge part of my life and I love them so much, but I would never put them on, I would never put like identifying details about them on my channel, like their name or like, you know, like pictures of them like without their like permission, because they deserve privacy, and that is an absolute like hard red line for me. So identifying details about people in my life without their permission is absolutely off limits and it always will be. All right, number 2, details about where I live beyond the city I live in. Okay, so I live in Cambridge and I love it, and I like to make vlogs about living in Cambridge and like videos, like information videos about living in Cambridge. So I'm not trying to hide the city I live in, but details about where I live specifically, I would never share on the internet because that's dangerous. I would never film the outside of my house or provide any details which might lead to someone being able to find out where I live, because security and safety is very important to me. I've been stalked in the past, so that was an experience which really scared me, and this is just, again, an absolute like a hard red line for me. This is for safety and privacy reasons, so I am never going to share specific details about where I live. Hell no. Right, the third thing that I don't share is details about my work life and career beyond my generic goals and aspirations. Now, I believe in keeping work at work and keeping my professional life and my creative life on here entirely separate. Now, I do talk about like lessons I've learned and, you know, how to get a job, how to write a CV or whatever, like all of these things that I want to talk about that I've learned, and sort of like vague details about like my career field in general, but I would never ever share like details of my employer or like specific details about my job, because that's just like, that's too personal. That's way too personal. All right, another thing that I don't share are intricate details about my dating life. So I've made a lot of videos on like dating and like lessons about dating and how to date, and a lot of those like experiences come from like my personal life, my dating life, as well as my friendships. My dating life involves other people who deserve privacy, and unless they were to give specific permission to be on this channel, I would never share identifying details about them. So I will never talk about identifying details about people I'm dating or seeing or any of that. I would never share like pictures of them. Things I do share about my dating life are only the details which relate to me, or things I've learned from dating which are vague enough not to be traceable to any one particular partner. And I do feel very strongly about this. Now, I'm aware that some people show like their partners on their channels, and that's fine. And you know, if I ever had a partner who like wanted to be on here for some reason, then that would be fine. Like, or who was cool with me sharing stuff about them, again, that would be fine. But I'd have to like have their express permission. And if they ever wanted me to take a video down, then I would have to do that. So I would always prefer not to have other people in my videos, because if they ever want it taken down, then I have to take it down and then I lose that video. So I'd rather it just be me, because I know that I will always want to be like in my own videos, if that makes sense. So intricate details about my dating life are absolutely off limits. It's only like vague lessons and things that aren't traceable to particular people. Another thing that I absolutely refuse to share on my channel is anything which I think might harm my subscribers or cause distress to them, okay? I'm very, very careful to warn you guys when my videos have sensitive content. So a lot of my mental health ones, like for example, talk about, you know, really sensitive topics and things that might be triggering for people, things that I've been through and that I want to share my experience on, but I always put like a warning in the title. I'll always warn you like when that section of the video is coming up, so you can always skip over it if it's something that might cause you distress or might stress you out, like any of that, anything I might harm like you or like my subscribers, my viewers, any of you. I'm also very keen on fact checking my sources, because the internet has enough misinformation, okay? And I want to emphasize that a lot of this channel is just my opinion, and I am always open to factual corrections, and indeed very grateful for them if I ever make a mistake. So I always try and make sure that this channel is as positive and upbeat as possible, and when I do share like negative or sensitive content, I always warn you so you can make an informed decision about what to watch, and so I never spring it on you. And if I ever do make a mistake like that, I'll always try and rectify it. And if I make a factual error, I will always accept and welcome corrections. So anything that I think might harm you or cause distress to you at all is a big, huge no for me to share on here. Another thing that I don't share on my channel is anything that I don't see value in, okay? I always want my content to be really valuable to you, and I want you to leave each video having learned something new, or having been entertained or uplifted or educated in some way, okay? So I try to only share things which I think are going to deliver value and help someone, and if a video is not entertaining or educational, I won't share it. Like, I've filmed videos and I've written scripts which I've scrapped because I thought these are not high quality enough for them to bring value, and you don't deserve that. You deserve things which are entertaining, which are educational, which are going to make your lives better. So I would never share a video that I didn't like believe had some value to you, okay? If I ever rewatch a video and I think this is useless, I will take it down. Fortunately, that's never happened because I have kind of an extensive vetting process, but if I don't see value in it, I will not share it. Okay, and the final thing that I want to talk about in this video that I refuse to share on my channel is anything that I don't have direct experience of, or like at least semi-direct experience of. Apart from factual statements which I back up with sources, like I said earlier, usually in the description. So if you ever want a source for anything I've said in these videos, and I've said in the video, oh, this is a fact and the source will be in the description, it will be, unless I'm very forgetful, in which case just drop me a comment and I'll give that to you. Everything else is just my opinion and experience. I try not to speak about things that I don't have experience of, because it's not my place to talk about them, and I think people who have been through those things should have space on the platform to discuss these topics without others clogging up the online space in a misinformed way. So I always try and speak from my own experience, and when I'm like bringing in outside sources, I will always like cite them. So I really want to make sure that this channel is as sort of transparent and as useful to you as possible, because that's the whole point of building a community, is to build trust. And if I was to, you know, do or share any of these things that I've listed in this video, then ultimately that would make me an untrustworthy person, and that is what I don't want to be. That is what I want to avoid being. I want to be as trustworthy as possible. And I want you guys to know that this is a place that you can come for genuine advice and genuine experiences, and that I'm sharing these with no ulterior motives other than to have a creative outlet for myself and to try and help you out. Okay, so I really want you guys to know that I am just really, I just want to help. And I want to not just say that, but also show it through my actions. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to film this video as well, because I know that I overshare kind of a lot in my videos, and I didn't want you to think that I have no boundaries. So these are things that I absolutely will not share. Like, these are sort of my content creation principles almost, and maybe I'll discover more in the future. Like, most of these I discovered through running up against a video or running up against a situation where I had to confront one of these questions, and I thought, oh, okay, what kind of person do I want to be in this situation? So these are kind of the values that I've developed for my channel over time, and I think that they function as a really positive, like, safeguard against, you know, content which negatively impacts people, because I'm aware that this platform is kind of a source of personal power for me, in that, you know, I'm able to, like, tell people, like, give people advice, or people come to me for advice, and people are influenced by the things that I say, and I'm aware that words hold power, and so I take that responsibility very seriously, and I would never want to share anything that gave you a, like, that put you on a sort of a negative path, or I'd never want to, like, harm anyone's mental health, and I'd always want to respect the boundaries of other people in my life and the privacy of other people in my life, as well as my own privacy. And I think modeling the kind of, like, respect for, like, my friends, my acquaintances, myself, and for you as viewers really creates an environment that allows kind of, like, mutual respect to flourish. So I really want to kind of, like, model that for you as well through the boundaries that I have on this channel, because if we didn't have any sort of boundaries or values for content creation, then, you know, it can get really screwed up really fast. And I've seen that on, like, other channels as well. I'm not going to name names, but some creators cross these boundaries, like, regularly, and I can't lie, I do not approve. Like, I judge it a little bit, I can't lie. So I just wanted to kind of share these principles that I have, and, you know, we're all human and we all make mistakes, and if I'm ever wrong, I would like to think that I would own up to it and correct it. And like I said, you know, if I ever mess up something in a video, or you want to fact check me, and I've missed out a source or something, I'll always be really grateful to you for pointing that out. Like, I'm never going to get angry, because if someone's like, can you provide a source for this? I'll be like, hell yeah, I'm sorry I didn't before, okay? So I'll always want to provide sources for my facts, and I always want you to know that these are just my opinions and experiences. Take this all with a huge pinch of salt, because I think it's important to really, like, have standards for, like, your own, like, morals in terms of content creation. Because again, I'm aware that this is, like, even at this small stage, and I know my channel's not very big, but even at this small stage, I do have a certain amount of power and influence, and I just want to make sure that I'm using that in the most sort of positive and moral and beneficial way, because at the end of the day, I'm doing this for you, my viewers, and I really want to make sure that this is a safe space for you. So those are 7 things that I don't share on my channel, and I hope that you all understand why. If you're not already subscribed, please do that. I would love to have you stick around. Give this video a thumbs up, comment your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay.